From bizarre changes in the past to famous historical deaths being altered, today we're checking out 5 brand new Mandela effects. So turn off those lights, sit back, and let's get into it. Picture a classic Viking in your mind. I'm talking about real Vikings, 8th to 11th century Scandinavian Vikings. Visualize the armor that they wore, what weapons they carried, and the paint that they covered themselves in. Now visualize the helmets that they crafted and adorned for battle. Here is my Mandela effect question for you. Did Vikings ever have horns on their helmets? Yes or no? From an artistic point of view, the horned helmet is almost always associated with Vikings. So obviously now Vikings have never had horns on their helmets. Not a single Viking helmet has ever been dug up or discovered with horns, in fact. Does that surprise you? Whether you're a football fan looking around for a Halloween costume or your high school mascot was the Vikings, this is overwhelmingly a trait of Viking mythology. Practicality-wise, horns on helmets wouldn't even make that much sense. Sure, they might intimidate enemies, but they're more likely to get caught on a Viking's own weapon, or snagged in a tree, falling off because of its own heavy weight, or getting embedded in an enemy's shield. So how is this even possible? Was this concept simply created and propagated throughout history with no basis in history? Or is this the result of the Mandela effect? Today, the visual of Vikings and horn helmets are synonymous, so I'll let you decide. Tell me all about it in the comments below. The Starry Night is a beautiful painting painted by Vincent van Gogh in 1889. This mesmerizing oil-on canvas painting depicts a beautiful cityscape in France. The sky is covered in stars and swirls. Here is where the Mandela effect comes in. On the left side of the painting, there is a massive object in view. What do you remember that object being? Is it a castle, a mountain, a tower, or a tree? This Mandela effect came to my attention because of a hugely popular thread on the subreddit No Stupid Questions. At the time, there was over 8,000 upvotes and hundreds of comments from shocked individuals. It turns out that the massive structure is actually a tree, a cypress tree. This Mandela effect fascinates me because of the sheer number of people shocked by the tree not being a Gothic-style castle. Personally, I remember the dark outline of something tall, but what that exactly was, I can't recall. My brain wanted to say a castle or a tower, but it was a vague memory. And seemingly a lot of people in those comments had the exact same thoughts. So what do you remember? Give me all of your thoughts and hot takes in the comments below. Think back to when you learned about World War I and World War II. Visualize the massive warships that were utilized back then. Now what color were those ships? Were they covered in abstract designs, or was it solid colors like gray? What do you remember learning? Abstract colors and shapes, or solid colors like gray? In World War I, and to a lesser extent in World War II, to avoid ship destruction at the hands of German U-boats, ships were painted in Dazzle camouflage. This is actually how history goes now, believe it or not. The hulls of Dazzle ships were covered in stripes, swirls, colors, and abstract shapes, reminiscent of Pablo Picasso's work. The idea was that the overwhelming mix of colors and shapes would confuse enemy U-boats looking through a periscope, thus making it more difficult to gauge the size, speed, and direction of these Dazzle ships. Despite other people's memories, including my own to the contrary, this was a common practice. It started in Britain, but eventually spread to the US. It turns out that Dazzle ships were surprisingly effective. So much so that during World War II, Dazzle camouflage was utilized again by the US and even used on the decks of ships to confuse enemy aircrafts. Does any of this sound right to you? Growing up on the East Coast and being a big history buff, I've even visited some of these ships. But amazingly, I've never seen one in full Dazzle paint, let alone any mention of this throughout history. So all of my education, all of my personal studies, all the documentaries and movies and things that I've watched, nothing. What do you all think? Is this exactly as you learned it? Or is this something completely confusing to you? Maybe you're something in between. Whatever you feel, let me hear it in the comments below. I'm so excited to read what you all think about this. Franklin D. Roosevelt is remembered as one of the most popular and important presidents in American history. Re-elected 4 times, he served as president from 1933 to 1945. His Emergency Banking Act brought back financial stability after the Great Depression. He established Glass-Steagall, FDIC protections on your money stored in banks. He implemented the New Deal, the Public Works Administration, Social Security, the minimum wage, 40-hour weeks. He banned child labor, fought against workplace discrimination, and guided us through World War II. He was so popular that the only reason he wasn't re-elected a 5th time was because he passed away in office. After his death, Congress passed an amendment to create term limits to prevent someone like him from being elected again. Because someone like him, with the policies that he had, he was going to be elected over and over and over again. So long story short, this man is a legend and should be known far and wide when it comes to American history. So now that all that's established, let's get into his Mandela effect. It's very simple, but what is FDR's full name? Is it Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Or is it Franklin Delano Roosevelt? This particular Mandela effect popped up recently and seemingly stumped a lot of people. When searching for new Mandela effects, a good mix of answers and memories are usually a good sign for me. This shows controversy, because those make the best Mandela effects. In this case, it is actually Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Is that what you remember? Some presume this misconception comes from FDR's wife being named Eleanor Roosevelt. Others claim that that is besides the point and that Delano was indeed Delanour in the past. So like most Mandela effects, we may never know the full story. FDR's face is on every American dime, so how could so many people supposedly get this wrong? What sounds right to you? Is it Delanour or Delano? Tell me in the comments below. Before we get to our final brand new Mandela effect for today, let's announce the latest Amazon gift card giveaway winner. In the last video, I asked, what is your best theory for explaining the Mandela effect? A lot of you came through with some great answers, but I can only choose one, so congrats Vincent Loria 6, you've won. Here's what Vincent Loria 6 said. The Mandela effect could be the evidence scientists are searching for to prove the existence of the Matrix or the hologram universe. That makes all of this fit so nicely. There is an entity playing a massive game of The Sims on a much grander scale, the entire universe. Or at least on a planetary scale. Our only knowledge of the universe being scripted to us from the game code. There is also the theory that we are NPCs in a game. Nothing outside of our current range of view exists. As we move about, or directed by the player, our environment is created. This could help to explain how the stuff changed. The code in the game is updated. The white light when we die is just us being recreated in another game. That's quite the interesting theory. What do all of you think about this? And thanks again, Vincent. Leave your email address in a comment on this video and I will send you your gift card right away. And for everyone else, if you want to win, you must like the video, subscribe to All Time, and answer this question. With Halloween approaching, what is your favorite spooky Mandela effect? Today we are looking at the life and death of Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini is world famous for his illusions and stunt performances. He became popular because of his ridiculously impressive escape stunts. Small stuff like being handcuffed and escaping, to massively dangerous and more impressive stunts like getting free of a straitjacket while hanging upside down from a skyscraper as civilians watched below. Harry Houdini has made elephants disappear, escaped from a box thrown overboard, and even escaped from being buried alive. Harry Houdini had an impressive array of illusions and even a few movies. But what most people remember about him is his death. So, here is my question to you. How did Harry Houdini die? Was it drowning? Suffocation? A ruptured appendix? Or was it lung cancer? Many people, including myself, believe that Harry Houdini died performing one of his stunts. As it is now, that isn't the case. He actually died of a ruptured appendix. What I had always believed was that Harry Houdini died during his Chinese water torture act. That he wasn't able to escape in time and drowned in front of a horrified audience. Thankfully, this isn't what happened anymore, but his death is still very bizarre. He was indeed injured during that performance, but only on his leg because of faulty equipment. He limped through the rest of the show, but he survived. I absolutely love this stuff because it feels like alternate history. It's as if things get to play out differently. Some things for the better, but some things for the much worse. Anyway, back to Houdini. 11 days later, Harry Houdini was giving a lecture at McGill University in Montreal. After this lecture, he spoke with students in his dressing room. One student asked if he really could resist hard punches to his abdomen, a claim that he had previously made. Harry agreed, and before he could react, he was hit with 4 or 5 forcible, deliberate, and well-directed blows to his stomach. He played it off well in front of the students, but those punches did indeed rupture his appendix, and he died on October 31st. A tragic and bewildering end to one of history's greatest illusionists. So where do you fall on this? Is this what you remember about Harry Houdini's ending? Or perhaps you're like one of the many of us who remember him dying tragically during an escape performance. As always, let's hear about it in the comments below. That is always my favorite part of these videos.